quiet seaside town, an evil lain to rest centuries ago, has risen. An abandoned fortress deep in the swamp holds a secret that could save the village or destroy it. Now, a band of adventurers sets out to dig up the wounds of the past and bring the light of day to the roots of ruin. This is Tabletop Gold.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tabletop Gold, episode 180. Welcome to another edition of our ongoing tabletop role-playing game actual play podcast. Guess what? It's a new year. It's 2025, everybody, and we are back and badder than ever. My name is Lars Casteen. I'm the Golden Tyrant. Welcome to the show tonight. I am joined for this first edition of 2025 by the entire Tabletop Gold crew. Woohoo! Including and limited to our Matt Humphreys.
Hello, good 2025 time.
Robin Lange.
I've done it once before, and there was a payoff recently, so good 2027 time.
I disagree. I
Someone
don't
commented.
know what you're talking about.
Someone commented. I said like good. Someone's listening off in 2024. I said it like 2 years ago.
Oh, that thing.
And
where
someone
now I get a
commented.
message every month from somebody being like, I'm listening in 2024. And I was like, we're all listening in 2024, brother.
love
What are you
it.
coming at me about this?
So,
You're-
I know.
Like,
Someone's going to listen
traveler?
to this. Someone's going to listen to this, and they're like, it's not new. It's not the first week of January in 2025. Maybe it's the first week of January in 2027.
Terrifying. As these numbers get larger, I get more and more afraid of what's coming. Speaking of which, sorry, I don't know how that connection works. It's Zoe Chernicoff.
good whatever year and whatever time you are in, fellow traveler.
And David the Tin Man Chernicoff is here as well.
Whatever time it is for you, dear listener, good that time.
Good that time. So it's a brand new year. There's a thing that people do all the time. Not all the time. They do it at a specific time. That specific time is the beginning of the new year. It's making, what is that thing called? Reservations? What's it called?
Resolutions?
What do you do?
Resolve.
Zoe, you had an idea for a resolutions related topic that we could discuss. Would you mind helping me remember what it is that we're talking
was, what is a resolution you would never make? Generally intended to be from the sort of common list of things that people resolve related to money, health, spiritual fulfillment, traveling, I don't know, whatever those things are that people resolve. What is something you would never resolve to do?
Would it be helpful to hear
Okay.
the top 10 most common resolutions?
Yeah, let's pick the least likely one from these 10.
So we got exercise more, lose weight, get organized, learn a new skill or hobby, live life to the fullest, save more money / spend less money, quit smoking, spend more time with family and friends, travel more, read more, and a rising one that's not on that list yet is spend less time on social media.
Oh, let's not talk about that. I'll go first. I have my pick. I've got it set up. Get organized. I would never make the resolution to get more organized because I am satisfied in my life with the level of organization that I have. If you look around here, you see that I have a number of cardboard boxes. I'm not happy about these. These I would like to get rid of behind me. But like, I feel like I've found in my middle age a flow of, I just want things to be at hand. I don't care if they're organized. I just want to reach out and touch the things that I want to use. If the things that I like are within reach, I'm set. I don't feel the need to organize things, put things in boxes, get things like whatever. I just want the objects that I like near me so that I can pick them up and I'm good to go.
All right. I feel like
my
this is the
answer.
benefit of New York City living. Like you get
Yes,
to...
I don't have enough room to need to organize
Yeah.
anything. It's true.
David, what's something you would never resolve to do?
Pretty much everything on that list is something I really ought to do.
Well, but that doesn't mean you're going to resolve to do it. I think those are two different things.
The one that stood out to me was live life to the fullest.
YOLO.
I don't believe in that. No.
Not according to the Buddhists.
It's just too broad for me. Like, part of what I like about the other ones is they're specific enough that you could know if you were doing it or not, or you could make a plan for it and keep track of it in some way. And I think something I 100% would do is try to figure out what living life to the fullest meant to me and like break that down into some subparts that I then felt like I could actually do. But I would never leave the top line thing as just like, well, my resolution this year is to live it more like that. It feels too diffuse for.
You want something with metrics.
So your issue.
It doesn't need to be metrics, but just enough specificity that you could do it.
So your issue is with the design of the resolution more than anything else. Yeah,
that is like the one of those that I would for sure never be like, this is my New Year's revolution, renovation.
Yeah.
Like renovation.
Restitution is that one, because that is so. I would if I made that resolution, I would immediately want to. Yeah, double click into it to make it into more resolutions, and then I'd be like, those are my actual ones.
Yeah, I totally got you. Anybody else have an answer for this?
Learn a new skill or hobby. I am a overachieving millennial, which means I already have 10 different hobbies. If I bring another unknown crafting material into my home, my husband may leave me. I'm kidding, of course, but no, I would probably.
But it's not worth testing.
Yeah, I would probably resolve to get better at a certain one that maybe I've kind of let fall by the wayside, like practice my auto harp more. It's been a while since that's came on, but I don't need to learn anything new. I don't think I have approaching middle age. I have plenty of skills and hobbies that I could just play around with those. I don't need a new one.
Right. And you like know what they are.
I
know the ones that I want to do. So it would be doing more of those, not like exploring more and generating new leads. I don't need to suddenly
need to learn Russian.
It sounds to me like your plate is full and you need to eat some of the stuff that's on your plate.
And just keep moving it around.
The situation. Yeah.
Need to organize your current hobby materials.
Exercise more with them.
Yeah. Well,
I will add into this one of a less traditional, but I feel like famous in the last few years. I feel like I would never and could never resolve to do the Shonda Rhimes wrote a Year of Yes book. Like, you only get to do that. Like, she just said yes to everything. You only get to do that if you're like
pretty wealthy,
very wealthy, and don't have small children.
Yeah.
Like, the idea of just like it would almost be funny, like if it were, 2008 to do a blog where in real life you did that and just like documented the ruin that occurred to you if you Year of Yes yourself.
I'm going to also say that the projects being offered to Shonda Rhimes are probably very appealing. That's probably like, she probably has a lot of attractive things being suggested that she would do.
Someone was like, do you want me to be your home chef? And she was like, yes. I haven't read the book, so I don't know if that's one of them, but like,
I hope that's the first one.
Yeah.
All right, these things just manifest when you
that's right. If you just put the energy out into the world.
So I got a slightly different list of the common resolutions, so I'm going to work from that. And for me, one I don't think I would ever use is 1360 by 768. I don't see the appeal of it.
Fired.
Yep. I think we've all learned something about each other tonight. Thank you, Armin.
I felt like that it was in many ways the most honest response I could give.
It truly was the most Armat response you could give.
Yeah, I loved it.
I love that. You didn't need to change yourself.
Resolution.
Yeah, there was no resolution need. You stayed true to who you are.
Yeah,
that's right.
Exactly.
High definition Armat.
Misinterpreting things since I was a kid and still going.
Okay. Before we get into our game, everybody, this is episode 180. It is time for us to do a little bit of discussion of things that are happening around the Tabletop Gold universe. We have our Patreon. Our Patreon has tons of great content hitting every single week. We put new stuff out. These are recent things that we just dropped. we put the episode 0 of this very campaign on our Patreon last week. This was recorded in 2021 before we had recorded anything else for this. You can hear us planning our characters for this campaign right now, including a character that Armat made that never saw the light of day at all.
Oh, right.
Yet.
Yeah.
Spoilers for the future. So if you want to hear the session 0, if you want to hear the conversations that we had on microphone that led us to at least 3 of the characters that you're hearing on our show right now, you can find that on Patreon. We recently wrapped up our play. Yeah, go ahead.
And Lars, there is at least one bit that we have ended up using on the show, the origin of which is in that episode that
I don't know.
No one has ever heard, but we have been referring to it as though there was an antecedent, even though there wasn't any.
This is news to me. I had no
listen to
idea.
Yeah.
What is?
For
What
sure.
is? Well, let me know later. Let me know some other
I
time.
would never
You would-
spoil the.
Okay.
I mean,
Fair enough.
No.
That's right. That's how you sell things. Okay. I'm learning so much all the time. The Zone, we just wrapped up last month. We wrapped up our 3-part series of The Zone. I love this mini series. I loved making it.
So much fun.
I love listening to it. It's great. Check it out. Film Debuff, we put a poll to our Heart of Gold patrons. That's patrons at our Heart of Gold level and above. And we discussed recently on our Patreon, I believe we discussed the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon from the 80s. This is the Film Debuff is the show where we talk about like TV and movie related to games. And we talked about the D&D cartoon, I think. So here's what you do. Support us on Patreon. We've got great stuff and great premium stuff, and we need your support to keep this train moving. If you are bargain-minded, I have a brand new announcement for the top of this year of 2025. We have a new feature. You can subscribe for a full year to our Patreon and save 10% off your membership. It's a great chance to save a bit and support us at the same time if you know you're going to be sticking around for the whole year. And finally, we have a brand new feature, Messy's Menagerie. That's right. Wolfgun Messy has scraped through all of our premium shows over the last year and highlighted 5 episodes that will be available for free. What that means is, even if you're an unpaid Patreon subscriber, you can see the full-on video versions of these 5 episodes. Here's what they are. The film debuff of the movie Pixels, both parts of our Fiasco miniseries, The Kindred Diamonds. This is our story of a powerful and criminally self-destructive family of televangelists. You can listen to the first episode of Goldmine Rewind, which covers the first 10 episodes of our series, and you will get for free in Messy's Menagerie this week's episode of the Goldmine covering this very episode that you are listening to right now. So you got to stick around. You got to wait until Wednesday for that. And those are going to be the 5 episodes in Messy's Menagerie, the 5 episodes that Wolfgun himself found and wanted to share with everybody for free. So if you're already a subscriber to our Patreon, you'll get the video for free. If you are just slotting in with us for $0 ding-dong dollars, you get 5 of those premium shows for free. And we're going to rotate those out over the course of time.
See,
They're going to go back into Messy's vault. Yes, go ahead.
we're
Robin.
here to help people who made the resolution to stop spending so much money.
Yes.
What a deal you're getting.
To stop not listening to our podcast is more like it.
Exactly. And that's it for our stuff. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope that this Messy's Menagerie, it's alliterative, so it's a good name. And I hope you like it. And guess what? We're going to get into our game now.
Yes.
Very good. Thank you.
Dragon.
There's no dragon.
Shh. Somewhere there is.
Dragon's Army.
Your search for the black dragon Ravarex and his captive, your friend Mark from the Otari Town Guard, has brought you to a vast, wide-ranging network of caverns that serves as a hunting ground for your new friends, the Drow of Ildaris. This stretch of the Darklands is home to all manner of beautiful and terrifying life, and some of that life currently stands between you and the dragon's den. 2 puffball fungi are floating down towards you from the darkness of the cavern overhead, shedding toxic spores as they descend, grinning at you like a pair of 10-foot wide skulls.
Yeah, the art on these is so cool.
Yeah, let's take another look at this art.
That's rad.
Let's look at these goofballs. These puffballs, sorry.
These
I
friends.
was going to say, wow.
Yeah. I really like this art. When I described this last time, people were like, oh, I didn't even recognize that as a skull.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's like, I actually really like that this is plausibly an organic like design. It's not just like a skull floating at you. This thing looks like a puffball, and the striations on it look vaguely, vaguely like a skull. You can see the eyes, the fangs. It's got fangs for some reason. That's not a typical skull feature, but you understand.
But
what
also
I'm
like
saying.
jellyfish-like. Looks like it's got jellyfish tentacles in the bottom.
For sure.
There's also a second skull, it looks like, on the side, on the left-hand side, if you look at that.
Yeah, it almost looks like it would look like a skull from any rotated.
Totally.
Like if it.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
If it's spun, it would
Oh,
keep
yeah.
showing you.
Oh,
as-
cool.
I can see what you're saying. That's cool. I'm going to add that to my narration, that it's spinning around as it's flying towards you. Let's go.
Cool.
Creepy. I'm here for it.
It's like how, in Mickey Mouse Funhouse, how like no matter which way Mickey turns, the ears are always, the silhouette's always the same. You guys know what I'm...
I do know what you're saying.
Yes, know what I'm saying.
There's this uncanny sliding double ear situation happening.
Yeah,
Oh.
Speaking of which, let's roll for initiative.
it's like that.
I don't feel like I'm very hidden to this thing.
I disagree. I think that it's totally plausible that you would be hidden. You've been navigating this area.
I guess they're
As
super
though
tall
hidden.
fungi. Like, it's not hard to...
It's true. Let's see how everybody did on this, starting with Zoe. How did Ao do? Ao, sorry, how did Are we still Dara, the drow here?
I think so. I don't think she's ever switched out. Dara the
All right.
drow. Not the spider. Don't confuse her with the
Right.
spider.
Right.
No.
I have a question for you, Zoe. Now's not the time to ask, but I'm going to
named
do it anyway.
Let's do it.
Your disguise lets you look vaguely like a representative from the group of people that you're trying to disguise yourself. You're not doing the specific person thing. So you've defined the vague general person that you look like right now as Dara the Drow.
Yeah.
If you cast this spell again next time, are you going to look slightly different, and will people think that you're a different person? Is my
I
question.
think that's right. I think if she wants to be a drow again, she's going to have to be like Daria the drow.
Right. It's just gonna be like this crew is rolling around with similarly
Yeah,
named,
just
but
there's right. They keep finding new drow,
They're
taking
all
them, leaving them.
cousins.
It's like how every agent in the PBS Kids show Odd Squad, their name starts with an O, but it's been on so long they're starting to run out of O names.
They're up to
You know,
Oedipus.
They're named stuff that's just like Oasis or whatever. And you're like,
it's
boy,
not a
this is
name. That's not a name, guys.
a tough writer's room here.
Sorry, Zoe, what did you say for your initiative?
Anyways, Dara the drow is feeling ready for these guys, on the lookout for a black dragon. 37.
Okay, that's super fast. You are blending into the shadows. They won't see you until it's too late.
Zoinks.
Next up is Armat. How did Istin do?
Istin did really good. He got a 20 on the die for a 35, which is kind of amazing that Ao is still faster than Istin, just right off the bat, which is awesome.
Well, she's rolling stealth, I think. Am I crazy?
Yep, correct.
Well, that
So
do her.
that number is through the roof.
That explains it.
Robin, how did Trill do here?
I think Trill saw the skulls on them and had like a moment where she thought it looked like a giant skull wisp. So it's not terrible, but it's really not great for Trill. She's a 27.
Okay. Still quick enough to get the jump on these two is what I'll say. How did Mag do?
Mag's ready to roll. Joining Ao's 17 on the die and Istin's 20 is an 18 on the die for Mag, which puts me to 33. I think Mag's got a fair amount of adrenaline going at the moment.
So as the four of you enter these hunting grounds, this rolling underground hilly cavern that just opens up into the distance in front of you, you are prepared for the natural dangers that abound around you, and the four of you are going to be able to act before either of these two carnivorous fungi take any action, which is lucky for you. guess what? It's the beginning of round 1.
Makes sense.
It makes sense. Ao, Mag, Istin, and Trill are all standing on the ground behind a small outcropping of fungus as these 2 unidentified puffballs float down from 30 feet up. They're currently both 30 feet up in the air, meaning that they're probably close to something like 40 feet away from you. So getting within range of these things, waiting for them to come down to you, finding like exactly the right reaction here might be a little difficult. I'm not quite sure. Zoe, what is Ao going to do on her first turn? What is Dara going to do on her first turn?
Remind me what we learned about the last puffballs. They're mindless, right? Or we...
That is what you learned, which is to, if you would like to, I'm sorry I missed this earlier when Trill rolled initiative, would you like to do a battle cry to test the theory of whether or not they're...
absolutely. Thank you.
They're mindless.
Great.
The battle cry does nothing. Great.
I love that battle cry is essentially a free
a
knowledge
ping.
check.
Yeah.
Totally. It's a Boolean.
And Mag can rage as well.
Mag will rage.
Great.
Okay. Unable to get all these little tentacles clapping for her with a roaring applause spell, Dara's just gonna use chompers, which she's had out at the ready, and fire 2 quick arrows at the one on the right.
Great. And the range on a short bow, I think, means that you can hit these no problem regardless.
Good for me.
Good for you.
All right. First one's a 30. Nope, that's Istin's. Roll 31 to hit.
Yes, that hits. Arrow flies through the air, punctures this puffball.
That's 13 points of damage.
And you get the sense that that number is slightly off. This creature is taking more damage than that 13.
All right. And second arrow.
Sorry, I go ahead and roll the second arrow. Sorry.
That's a 19.
That one misses. That first one that hit, though, you can activate your debilitating strike,
Yes,
your new rogue
please.
feature, and you can make them either less able to move or enfeebled.
Say enfeebled.
Great. So you sap the strength of this fungus with your first hit, and you do a second that misses. What's next for Ao?
What is next for Ao? She's gonna do a recall knowledge to see if, is there any tie to these things in the dragon? I don't think she sees them as a particular threat, but are these things a marker of any other kind of monster or ecosystem that might be helpful to them?
Okay, go ahead and give me a nature check, please, or whatever else you want to do.
That's a 32. 20 on the die.
Okay, go ahead and ask me a second question too, please, Zoe.
About the puffballs or just anything?
And yeah, I mean, I'm required to answer the question.
Whatever it is. Truth or
Love
dare.
to know what the anything could be.
I guess we know that they're weak to, what was that, piercing damage I just did?
Yes, they do seem to be weak
and
to
they're
piercing
mindless, so they're not going to have any, I don't know. Anyone have any ideas of something useful I can ask here?
Resistances?
All right. Resistances,
saves.
Lars.
Okay, they have no resistances, and there is no connection that you're aware of to other sorts of to dragons. But you do know that these creatures you do know the name of this kind of monster, which is a Reaper Skull Puffball. These are puffballs that cling to the detritus of forest floors in Darkland's caverns. And when this fungus detects prey, its tendrils writhe and exude a paralytic toxin. I'm going to answer a question you didn't ask. Yes, its tendrils writhe and exude a paralytic toxin.
When they are killed?
When they detect prey.
They detect prey, parasitic toxin.
So let's say that's happening right now.
Yeah.
Let's just imagine that I read that
Does
earlier and that
being
I knew that would happen. And
it's keep that from
Seems
happening?
plausible. That
it does not keep...
Drops their strength score. And
It drops their strength. It'll make them hit less hard. I'm going to give you an answer to another question that you didn't ask, just because neither of those questions got you much of anything useful. These creatures are weak to piercing and also to fire. Fire will ignite the
That's
sort of
fun.
the plant-like material as these tendrils writhe
All
and
right.
exude a paralytic toxin at you.
It's just an Eos moment.
Okay. Speaking of Isthin, it is now Isthin's turn.
Well,
Armat,
given
what
that
will you do?
freebie, assuming that AO is sharing that, Isthin is going to drop one hand off his staff as a free action, interact to draw out the wand of fireball, and then cast fireball on these fools.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, you didn't see that one coming?
No, I didn't even know that was in play. I don't pay attention to our game.
Oh, I love wands of fireball. They're so.
Well, I'm
I don't
sure
know
these guys
that
have
much about Isthin, how all of Isthin's toys, because there's so many of them. But the first thing I thought was like, oh, fire, Isthin.
He loves a fireball.
I love fireball.
I knew that he had ignition. I just didn't know that he had. I didn't know that he had that wand because I don't know why I didn't know.
I'm going to place this.
Let's look at my inventory.
20-foot burst right there.
Okay.
I need a DC 27 basic reflex save.
Okay. Would you mind rolling damage for me?
At
friend?
all. I just remembered that was procedure. For 23 fire damage.
Okay. So I'm going to try to roll reflex saves to avoid this fire damage. Let's see how this goes. I roll a 31 on one and a 29 on the other.
All right, half of that,
Okay.
which I believe in.
So they both take this half damage. However, as this fireball explodes in the air and you feel the heat blasting you in the face, like singeing the tips of your eyelashes, you see that these puffballs both go whoosh, like the spores that are pouring off of them catch fire and send like a fuse up towards them, and they both blam sort of pivot like back in the air, get tossed back, and then continue floating towards you, and they each take 21 total points of damage.
Awesome.
As this fireball blows up right in front of her face, it is now Mag's turn.
Okay. I will go hit them. Think
I
about
will
the
remind
land
you,
for
they are 30 feet up in the air. Yeah.
All right, I'll delay for Trill.
Okay then. So Trill's gonna, of course, start with what she do, and she's going to lingering comp into Courageous Anthem. Let's go ahead and get that out on the board. And that was terrible. That was a 1 on the die.
Oh,
Okay. So we get one round as like a string breaks. We get one round of Courageous Anthem,
she didn't
and
know.
you keep the focus point.
I wouldn't say it breaks. That's like, I think two more.
It's too extreme.
It's out of she realizes she's out of tune. She's got a tune in between. But then she does a quick flavor tune up and is going to then target both of these guys to do electric arc. And are you sure you want to use electric arc? Yes. It just gave me like a question.
Weird. Oh, it's because you're out of range.
Oh, I am?
Yeah.
My
Electric
range
arc.
is 30 feet. Are they?
And they're 30 feet up in the air and like 30 feet away from you.
Oh, so I
They are
don't want to use
far away
electric arc
from you.
then. Huh. Wow. Pythagorean theorem and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just trying to run the numbers. They're
45 feet?
approximately 100 feet away.
carry the one.
Yep.
So instead, Trill will cast Needle Darts. Her cantrip.
Okay.
Other cantrip.
Needle darts can do piercing damage, right?
They're piercing damage and so she's got I guess so she gets to choose what material it's made out of as well.
Right.
And I believe I have all 3 of the materials: adamantine, cold iron, and silver.
Wow. Okay.
No, she doesn't have the adamantine. The adamantine's got to make it way into her bag. So let's do, for the sake of it, cold iron.
Great.
So
So tell me what this looks like, because this is the first time we're seeing a spell. This is a spell that we added to your spell list after the remaster changed some stuff around, by the way.
essentially, like, so she strums her lute, and there's this kind of like 90s cartoon image that comes to my mind of as she's like slamming on the lute, rather the notes that would be coming out are just darts shooting straight out of the lute.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
So let's just do the one that's more directly in front of her.
Oh, okay.
And that's a 29.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Yes. Okay. Let's roll damage. I'm not used to actually like rolling attacks. That was so many dice. Oh my gosh. Attacking's fun, guys. That's a 20 of piercing damage.
Piercing damage. That's actually 30 points of piercing damage as this musically sent shrapnel of cold iron flies through this cavern and punctures the puffball.
And cold iron didn't have any effect, I imagine. There's very few things that the metal affects really, right?
Correct. It's like Fey, right? Armat, help me out here.
Yeah, Fey, fiends, I think, with a silver.
I can look it up.
Right? Werewolves.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it for Trill's turn. Is Mag going to undelay?
Yes. I was hoping maybe someone might make me fly by now.
Oh, shit. I didn't realize that was the...
A boy can dream.
The delay
No,
there.
I should have said something.
I'm just enjoying doing damage.
This is me saying something for round 2.
It's
like
a classic trap.
The actual problem
that-
would be I still wouldn't have been able to make you fly. I would have had to
you
not
have to
cast
move.
Courageous Anthem to have been able to make you
I
fly.
believe it. It's my New Year's resolution is just to be more direct, I guess.
I guess.
I guess.
But no, I wouldn't think that would happen on turn 1 anyway. It was just kind of like a vague. Anyway, okay, so I'm just gonna. I do have one ranged weapon.
Okay. That's exciting.
So I'm gonna use it.
Is it the bolus?
It's the bola, yeah.
It's a javelin.
Which, as I understand it, it's like, have you ever played Cat's Cradle?
No, but keep going.
It's like a large one. It's like
It's a big old cat's cradle?
Yeah, it's like a net.
Like when two kids back in like Greek times were doing a cat's cradle, they looked at that and they were like, I bet you we could like totally wreck shop on somebody with this thing. And they're like, we should probably make this a weapon.
Maybe that's not the right image. Okay, you know what a surfboard looks like?
I do. Yeah, that one I know.
So this is like a surfboard.
Okay. Cool.
With a rope on the end of it, like a soap.
Yeah.
Like a soap rope.
A soap rope.
I actually think that's closer than the cat's cradle.
I have no idea.
Okay, so it's an action to draw the bola if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch. I'll switch weapons. Switch to the bola.
Okay.
I'm gonna move.
I kind of love this, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna like stride forward a little bit.
Okay.
To try and get their attention.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna throw the bola at the one that's already taken a little bit more damage, which I guess is the one to the west.
So bolas have this ranged trip deal. Do you want to try to do that to send one of them crashing down to the ground? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, that's when I said that I wanted to attack it. What I meant was the ranged trip thing.
Okay,
the very specific thing that you just said a minute ago.
I mean, you can also try to do a little bit of damage, but the ranged trip will bring them down.
Could I do that? I could do that twice, once to each of them.
The bad news is once you throw it, it's left your hand.
But
Unlike
I thought
a
it had the
surfboard.
rope. Okay.
It is a rope.
Yeah, I'll do that to
Like a cat's cradle kind of rope.
It's sort of like a cat's
but
cradle,
like with a surfboard attached.
but
to
with
the
a
end.
surfboard attached to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a colander.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna do it to the one on the right.
Great.
The one to the east that has taken less damage. That's the one I want to bring down to the ground.
Sure. Let's spread
All right.
this damage around. Let's go.
Here we go. That's a 29 to hit.
Okay, so it's a 29, and the way that range trip works is you get a -2, so it's a 27 versus their reflex DC, which I can't imagine. Holy shit. What?
Are they super reflexy?
They're super reflexy, dude.
Oh no!
I would never have guessed that.
They're floating around and
They're
it's
floating
like
around.
nothing
It's a
else.
couple-
I would think reflex.
It's like a ninja holding a helium balloon. It just dodges out of the way of your bolas, and your
maybe
bolas.
because they're like porous. They're like clouds, so you can't like grab on. I don't know.
Those little tentacles are just very responsive.
Yes, exactly. The tentacles go whoosh, like a Betty Boop cartoon where it's like the legs separate and the thing flies right through the bottom.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Cool.
that doesn't do it somehow. Sorry.
Okay. All right.
Outrageous.
Yeah.
And you know what else is outrageous? Is that it is the turn of the Reaper Skull Puffball. Which one were you targeting, David? Help me out. The one on the right?
The one, yeah, the easterly one.
Okay. That easterly puffball is going to drift down. It's going to fly forward towards you by 10 feet. And as that happens, it's able to move. It's able to move 10 feet down. So it is now 20 feet away, up in the air. And I'm going to check some ranges. Okay, great. Here's what happens. Strap in.
Oh boy.
Strap in, y'all. This Reaper's Blood puffball glides down towards you and then starts shaking, and a little gill opens up on it and just goes and sends these white spores out towards you in a 30-foot
Jeez.
cone.
Are they still 30 feet in the air?
Yes. No, they drifted down a little bit.
That's a
Sorry.
convenient answer, sir.
Say.
Square root of 5.
Listen, I'm very good at this game.
500. It's 500.
So these spores are going to deal a total of a terrible damage roll of 12 points of damage.
More.
And I need everybody to please make a fortitude save. Okay. So starting with Zoe, how did Ao do? Why are there more dice being rolled? What's happening?
I clicked on it and it didn't do anything.
Okay.
So then I clicked again. I don't know
Same
if this
thing with me, yeah.
Okay.
I believe I was a 24.
Okay, a 24 is a failure, which means you're going to take the full 12 points of damage.
Don't I upgrade to pass then? Or do I have something that makes things better?
You have something that I think makes good things better. I don't think you have anything that makes failures better.
Okay, that
You
hurts.
have-
That's harsh.
Okay, it really wasn't a judgment. You have rogue
harsh.
resilience.
It's not
When you
harsh.
roll a success on a fortitude save, you get
Okay.
a critical success
Okay.
instead.
I
So
can
12 points
receive
of
that
damage
feedback.
coming. Okay, it wasn't feedback. Coming to Zoe. Armat, how did Istan do?
Okay, he got an 11 on the die for a 26.
Also a failure. Istan takes 12 points of damage.
Okay, well, that's not
How did
bad.
Trill do?
27?
Also a failure. Trill takes 12 points of damage.
Oh, dang.
How did Mag do?
33,
Great.
and then
Critical-
round up
okay, very
to a
good.
critical
Critical
success.
success.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we barely have to. Yeah.
Ao, Istan, and Trill get blasted with this cloud of spores.
Oh, God.
And it gets into their
At least it's not
respiratory
goo.
system and it starts making them sick. I need everyone but Mag to please make a fortitude save.
Yeah, why didn't y'all crit succeed?
Tried.
But another one?
Yeah.
Do you want me to just roll once this time or a couple?
Whatever you like.
Would have been way
Okay.
easier to just crit succeed.
Zoe, how did Ao do here?
21 for AO.
Okay, so that is a failure. You go to
Ouch. Okay. Slow it down.
you go to stage 1 of something called
Oh.
skull rot.
Oh, no.
That is so metal.
Okay.
These are the most metal puffballs ever.
I'll tell you what that means in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. How did Istan do here?
Another 11 on the die for a 26.
So that is another failure.
Ooh.
And Istan also is subjected to stage 1 of something called skull rot. How did Trill do on this?
32?
Okay, that's a success.
Yes! Oh, thank
And
God.
you're fine.
Thank God.
You're totally fine.
Could have been bad.
The 2 of you who are subjected to this, you each take a d8 of poison damage. I'm just going to roll this once. You take 6 poison damage. This is just for Ao and for Istan. And you are now both enfeebled 2 for a round.
Ooh. That's not good.
Ouch.
It's not good.
That's really bad.
The puffball to the west floats towards you as well, moving down closer to Mag. This one is moving 10 feet forward towards Mag and is going to drop 20 feet total while they're doing that. So they're currently 10 feet off the ground. They are going to actually go a little bit further than that and come down to ground level and then swing a tendril out towards Mag. It's a 19 on the die, a 40 to hit Mag.
Oh, yeah, that's a critical hit.
Dang.
Okay, Mag, this tendril whips out, whoosh,
Lord.
slams her in the face. She takes 56 points of bludgeoning damage and
Dang.
feels a numbing sensation as this tendril rips around her, and I need Mag to make a fortitude save.
33.
I just have to stop asking you to make fortitude saves is I
Yeah,
think
it's
the
not
lesson
really
that I'm
worth the
learning.
die
It's
roll.
not working out for anyone?
It's working out great for Mag.
Okay.
Yeah, she's pretty beefy at this point. That thing is still too far away for a reactive strike. Oh, I guess I'm not holding a weapon anyway, so I have to punch it.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's too far away for that.
Another tendril reaches out towards Trill. 2 on the die, an 18.
That does not hit.
Okay.
Don't even need to look at my stats.
That's the end of round 1. Here's the situation after roughly 6 seconds of fighting. These puffballs have drifted down towards you. One of them released a cloud of spores that have made 2 of you poisoned, and one of you was shellacked by a white paralytic tendril. It is now Ao's turn. Zoe, what is Ao going to do?
So I can do like nothing now because I'm enfeebled, or I'm just not very strong?
Enfeebled is like kind of a non-issue for Ao because Ao never uses her strength. She's all dexterity.
Okay,
so
okay.
it's-
You know what? You start out being direct, and next thing you know, it's just an open. Never use my strength. Weak character. We all remember.
we don't. I gotta tell you, none of us remember Zoe.
Sounds like Zoe remembers.
All right. So,
Okay, Zoe does remember. That's true.
Some of us remember. I think Ao, the one to the north has some sort of condition. Is it?
The one to the north has a condition. It's enfeebled
Oh, it's
because
enfeebled
of your
because of me. Hey,
because of you. Yeah.
That felt nice to hear. But things that are mindless can't be distracted, right? Like there's no way for me to create a diversion.
Yeah, they're not susceptible to mental stuff, and
Okay.
create a diversion is mental.
All right. Ao is gonna go for the one that is closer to the party, to the, I guess the west mostly, and is gonna fire 2 more arrows since the one that landed last time worked pretty well.
Okay.
It's a 24 to hit.
Yeah, 24, I think. Oh, no. 24 misses.
All right. And let's try again. How about an 18?
No, both of those arrows miss.
Okay. In a bit of frustration, Ao decides for her last action to use her foxfire to this same one, which I believe is just in range at 20 feet, to see if she can light it on fire since she's pissed.
Yeah, totally. Foxfire and Ao has like tools that these creatures do not like. Like Ao has a whole fungicide build is what it seems like we're looking at.
I always knew there'd be somewhere I fit in. That's a 28 to hit.
Yeah.
All right.
Totally.
That's awesome.
2 1s on the die for 5 points of damage, but it was fire damage.
So this small spark escapes from Ao's, I guess, from your tail. Is that where
Asshole! She
Okay,
shouts. No, it
interesting.
comes from my hands.
Okay, very good.
Oh, I thought you were saying it
Whew, that was a
Not
close
that kind
one.
of show, everybody.
comes from.
But that spark hits the puffball. Whoosh, the outer layer of spores all burn away, and they take a lot of damage from that strike.
It's like when you get too close to the grill and like the hairs on your arm disappear.
Yes,
Totally.
exactly. Okay, as Ao lights up this puffball with a desperate but successful Foxfire strike, it is now Isthan's turn. I'm sorry. I need to resolve some stuff at the end of Ao's turn. You need to, at the end of your turn, deal with this poison. Can you please make this fortitude save?
That was a 20 on the die for a 35?
Okay, Ao shakes off the poison, and she's no longer poisoned at all. It is now Isthan's turn. Isthan is poisoned, however. What is Isthan going to do with this enfeebled self?
It is a bummer because that means he cannot spell strike this round, even though it is within his range. So
you could. You just are more likely to miss.
Right. So instead, he's going to step forward in front of Trill, kind of trying to block off access to her. And he's just going to use his attack roll with the ignition cantrip.
Great. A little melee ignition.
Yeah, so I get them D6s. Girl.
Okay.
Come on, that's totally a thing people say. Get those D6s, girl. Just me?
Yeah.
No?
A lot. I know it's a thing that I've said.
Yeah.
He's there.
30 to hit.
That hits, yes.
Excellent.
Ugh. Oh.
24 damage.
A heinous damage roll. That Isthan unleashes this magical fire and burns you. The smell of burning mushrooms permeates your body.
Makes me hungry for a pizza, you know?
At the end of your turn, you are subjected to a save against skull rot. I need a fortitude save as you feel this poison working its way through your system.
Caden Kalian, aid me! Uh-oh. 22?
Okay. Isthan proceeds down to stage 2 of skull rot. He's going to take 2d8 poison damage. He's going to take 9 points of poison damage and becomes drained 1 in addition to being enfeebled 2.
That's not good.
Huh.
So Trill sees Isthan step right in front of her, and then he looks like he is green in the gills. What is Trill going to do?
Well, I was just going to cast more shit on them. But I'm now considering cleansing affliction. Because this isn't great for Isthan to be so knocked down. First thing Trill's going to do, though, because she still has a focus point left, is attempt to get a better... I'll just do it for free. So I'll just do one more round of Courageous Anthem for everyone.
I believe you are full up on focus points because that critical fail last time did not spend a focus point.
Oh, it had a made it spend that focus point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we might get more than one round with these guys, so let's go ahead.
It's looking that way.
And
for sure.
Do the thing that she'll do. Go ahead and do that. And that's a 28.
That's a success. So you get 3 rounds. Great.
Oh, now that I've done that, I can't do Cleanse Affliction because I'd have to pull the scroll out.
Oh, you've got a scroll of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so since I forgot about that and can't do the scroll, Trill will go ahead and just keep the one right on the other side of Isthan, the one that Isthan was trying to protect her from. She's now going to go ahead and try and slam that guy. Let's go ahead and do Electric Arc on this. I guess I can do Electric Arc on both because they're both within 30 feet now.
They are both within 30 feet. That's true.
So let's go ahead and Electric Arc those guys.
Okay, how much damage am I looking at?
It's reflex. They'll do well in this.
Yeah.
That was
they
annoying.
probably will,
I should have done the
reason.
needle darts again. 11 points of damage.
Okay,
Needle
and they're
darts
both
is
going to make
better.
reflex saves. One of them critically succeeds. The other one just succeeds and takes 5 points of damage.
I've learned now. Needle darts is the better thing against them.
Okay, electricity reaches out across the room, leaving the puffballs largely unaffected. It is now Mag's turn. Mag is nestled within this fungal outcropping, peering out towards one of these puffballs that has fallen to the floor and another that is still 20 feet up in the air. What is Mag going to do?
Mag is gonna focus more on the one that's on the floor. So she'll draw the Earthbreaker and she'll walk. I guess, can she see where the bola landed?
Yeah, it probably landed like right here. I'll draw
Alright.
a little X on the deal. I'll draw a little thing.
Yeah.
Let's say it's like right there.
Not worth it. All right. Mag will step over toward the grounded puffball, draw the Earthbreaker, and hit it.
So Mag has had trouble getting it going so far in the first 9 seconds or so of this encounter.
Yeah, for some reason, using my worst weapon didn't get me off the right start. All right, 31 to hit.
Yes, that hits.
Great. Here is damage. 27 piercing damage.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
That 27 becomes 37 as the fine point on the reverse side of the Earthbreaker cuts a hole into the puffball, and white spores just float out into Mag's face, getting stuck in her hair. And that's it for Mag's turn.
No useless fort save?
No, it was a flavor. It was flavor spores. Sadly.
Okay, cool.
Flavor spores.
Cool. So the puffball that's still floating in the air descends down a little bit more so that it's now hanging about 5 feet up above the ground to the east near this outcropping of fungus, and it blasts out another cloud of spores at everybody.
They're really being poor sports at this.
You're so right. Truer words have never been spoken. Never. Okay, so we're looking at 17 points of damage and a fortitude save. This is how I anticipate just like a standard interaction with any fungus will go.
Yeah.
Including
By the
ones on your
way-
dinner table?
Yeah, I expect they're going to start blasting cones, 30-foot cones of spores with a fortitude save attached.
Checks out.
Okay. Zoe, how did AO do?
19 for AO.
Okay, so AO takes that full 17 points of damage. How did Trill do?
28?
28 succeeds, you're going to take half damage.
Great.
How did Istin do?
1 on the die for a 15.
Okay, double damage, 34 points of damage.
Uh-oh.
And how did Mag do?
It's a 34 for Mag.
Okay. So Ao and Istin are again exposed to skull rot poison because they failed this save. So a fortitude save just for those two, just for Istin and for Ao. Okay, how did Istin do here?
21.
Okay, that 21 is a failure, which sends you straight to stage 3 of skull rot poison.
Yikes.
That is 19 more points of damage just to Istin.
Okay.
Y'all, this ain't good.
And Istin is now drained 2, in addition to being enfeebled 2, which I believe may let's make sure that I did that wrong. Give me a second, please. Sorry.
Okay.
How many hit points did you had you took 34 damage, you took 19 damage. So like we assume you had 34 minus how do you know?
I didn't look.
Let's give you back 19.
He was at
Let's give you-
68 at the beginning
right.
of
okay.
this whole moment.
So minus 34, that'd be 34,
Okay.
and then minus 19.
So what do you think your hit points currently is?
Should be 15 if
Sounds
that
like
math
15.
is right.
Yeah.
15, and then you become drained. So Istin currently, I think I did this right, has 10 hit points left.
Okay.
Okay.
Woof.
and is going to keep taking poison damage at the end of his turn. He seems like he is in desperate need of healing. Ao, sorry, how did Ao do on that save against the skull rot poison?
28.
So that's a save. Ao continues to not have skull rot poison.
Am I like now immune from it forever because it's a critical save?
No, sorry.
Well, see you again in a few minutes.
Hey, you never know unless you ask. You know?
That's my policy.
I feel like this is karmic justice for that pun. Man.
Yeah, that's right.
Lars had it all planned out.
I did.
Yeah.
So the puffball that's on the ground right in front of Mag releases a 30-foot cone of spores that are going to target, that is going to blow some spores right in Mag and Ao's face. This is 4d8 poison damage with a fortitude save attached to it as a bunch of, as white spores blast out of one of its the gills on the underside, from like the part of this puffball that has teeth on it. How did Ao do on that?
23.
On that save. 23. That is a failure, so Ao's going to take all of that damage. And how did Mag do?
30.
Okay, that is a critical success. Ao, once more exposed to skull rot. Let's see how this save does for just Ao.
Not great, Bob. That's a 17.
Okay, so that is a critical failure.
I'm going to re-roll that. Let's hero point that.
Sure.
That's a 1 on the die. Is that more? Man. Is it more critically of a fail?
It so is.
What is happening?
You're getting owned by some fungus is what's happening.
Yeah.
So Ao's going to take 2d8 poison damage and becomes enfeebled 2 and drained 1.
All right.
It's nasty. It's really, really bad. And that was just the beginning of that puffball's turn. Next, that puffball extends a tendril towards Istin.
No!
7 on the die, a 28 to hit.
That, I believe, just hits.
Here we go.
Because
21 points.
To the roller, right?
Yeah, if I hit it, I make it. So 21 points of bludgeoning damage.
Well, that'll knock Istin down.
Ugh.
Okay. And also, Istin must succeed at a fortitude save.
Okay. 25.
Okay. Istin is now paralyzed.
Wow.
Holy shit. The damn pure detective may be showing up sooner rather than later.
I was talking to David about this encounter like yesterday, the day before yesterday, and I was like, these puffballs are going to be really annoying.
I don't like them.
No, there's little to like. But guess what? It's the top of round 3. 12 seconds have passed. Istin is unconscious and paralyzed on the ground. One of these puffballs is to your west. You are sort of surrounding them, and they are not looking that great. They're looking relatively beaten up, but another puffball has barely been hit, floating 5 feet above a resplendent outcropping of mushrooms. It is Ao's turn. Ao is injured and suffering from skull rot. What is Ao going to do?
Seeing Istin down, she is going to run over to him and do battle medicine.
Amazing.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's 16 points of healing. Although apologies, I seem to have tried to heal the puffball. I didn't mean it. I take it back.
Okay. So 16 points of healing to Istin. And Ao, Gauze, flying akimbo, has 1 action left. What will Ao do?
She is going to... She uses Gauze in one hand, and then she turns back and fires an arrow at the one right by them, just cursing all kinds of things that I'm not going to say out loud.
Okay.
This time I'm going to target the puffball and not Istin because I don't want to knock him out with an arrow.
Okay.
You know what? AO gives and AO takes, you know?
That's right. Man, some terrible dice right now. That's a
Hero
21.
point?
I already used one trying to get rid of Skull Rat and making it worse. This would be my last one.
But think about how heroic it would be.
All right. I can take a hint. Let's do it. Let's roll a 1 again. Okay, an 11 on the die for a 30.
30 hits.
All right. That is 10 points of piercing damage.
And that is more than 10 points as you puncture another hole in the puffball, and Ao finds herself getting a hero point.
Ooh. That didn't kill it?
It didn't kill it, but it looks really badly injured. If somebody can put this thing away, then Istin won't be immediately killed by it soon. It is Trill's turn. Trill sees Ao bring Istin back to consciousness, but sees Istin's face, eyes, muscles locked in a sort of fearful mortis. Like he's frozen in place. He can't move. His body, his muscles are locked up by the paralytic effects of this fungus. It's messed up. It's a nightmare. What is Trill going to do?
Hey, David. Do you think is a big lady with an axe or whatever it is that she's got in her hands right now able to take this thing down?
I should be able to. It seems like it's really, really, we've put a pretty good dent in it, and I have 3 whacks at it plus hero points. Like,
yeah.
I should be able to punch it to death.
That would be awesome.
I'm going to remind you that Istin is sitting at 16 hit points right now.
Yeah. Well, that's because I'm asking so that I can try and fix Istin.
Got it.
Yeah, I would say fix Istin. I mean, the other one that's over there, we haven't really started to deal with
we'll
yet.
Get them
but
next time.
I think you could spare an action to.
Yeah. So, Lars, it looks like I have 3 different scrolls.
Okay.
Clear Mind, Cleanse Affliction, and Sound Body. None of them seem to deal with being paralyzed.
Okay.
Is that true?
I don't know.
The word paralyzed isn't in any of the
then they
things
don't
that
do
it does. Okay. It's because it's got stunned.
Okay.
But that's not the same as paralyzed, right?
No.
Okay. Wait, are these looking the same thing? Use controlled slowed. No, they're not. Okay. So Trill's going to reach into her backpack then.
Okay.
Because I believe that's where it is.
The paralysis from the poison?
The paralysis is from the tendril.
Yeah. So I can't get rid of the paralysis is the problem.
No, but I will tell you, Istin gets a save against the paralysis at the end of his turn.
So Trill's going to try and get rid of the poison.
Oh, do I get a save against the brain rot?
Yeah, sorry. Let's resolve that once we're done with Trill's turn.
Sure. Sorry, just agreed.
Right, because I'm just trying to figure. So all of Istin's stats are he's poisoned, he's paralyzed, and he's drained too, right?
Yes.
So I could deal with the poison or the drained.
Yes.
What do you think, Armat?
Drained, I think.
Go for the drained first, because that's going to help your rolls more.
Exactly.
Great. So Trill's going to pull out the Scroll of Sound Body.
Okay.
And she's going to cast that, and that's this is a rank 4, so it's heightened, so it has drained. It can attempt to counteract drained.
Awesome.
Okay,
Thank
Sound
you,
Body. Give me a spell attack roll, and we'll compare it to the DC.
Do I just click the counteract button?
Sure, let's try that.
Have they made it easier?
Yes, they probably have.
That was a 1 on the die, so I'm gonna go ahead and hero point that.
Boy, oh boy.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing in the hero point cards list helps me there, so that's just gonna be a straight old hero point. So that's a 27.
27. So you just miss the DC. So you counteract the target if its counteract rank is less than 4. Its counteract rank is 5. So that does nothing
Thank you, Trill.
to remove this effect from Istin.
But wait, doesn't it But you would have if the counteract rank were 2 lower. Instead of suppressing the effect at the beginning of the next turn, the effect's duration doesn't elapse while it's suppressed. Wait, there's... Sorry, there was something funky.
Okay, if you didn't I'm looking at sound body. If you didn't counteract the effect, but you would have if its counteract were 2 lower, we're in that situation. Instead, suppress the effect until the beginning of your next turn. So what is the effect that we're suppressing here? Help me out here. Drained?
Drained condition, yeah.
Okay, so Istin is now not drained and will be drained once more at the beginning of Trill's next turn.
Okay.
That's got to be a weird feeling, like jolt of adrenaline and then back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Istin is still hanging out at 16 hit points though.
And that's all Trill can do.
It's now Mag's turn. What will Mag do in this dire circumstance?
I've done soothe.
Mag will start by bashing the bad mushroom.
Okay.
With the sharp, piercing end of her mighty Earthbreaker. 35 to hit.
That is a critical hit because of Courageous Anthem.
56 damage.
56 points of damage is enough to destroy the puffball.
Beautiful.
When the
what
puffball
foul shit
dies,
emits from it.
Oh no, what's going to happen to Istin now?
there is a 20-foot emanation of poison exploding out from it.
Exploding poison.
We're looking at 44 points of poison damage to a Istin who has 16 points. 16 hit points remaining. He is wounded 1 because he has already gone down once in this fight. And we will pick up from there next time.
You enjoy this way too much, Lars.
Is it weird that I'm kind of enjoying this?
That I saw coming.
Yeah.
Roots of Ruin is a Tabletop Gold production produced under the Paizo Incorporated fan content policy, using trademarks and copyrights owned by Paizo that are covered under that policy. The Roots of Ruin is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. All original characters and content in The Roots of Ruin are the property of Tabletop Gold, and all rights are reserved. We at Tabletop Gold would love to hear from you. Visit our website, tabletopgold.com, to learn more about us and our shows, join the Golden Horde to get access to more shows, pick up great merch, and connect to the best online community in all of podcasting. Thanks for listening.